This video was created by VinylicPuma of VinylicPumaGaming.
Hey guys, so I'm back with what I think will be the last video on the Nuka World DLC weapons. Today, I wanted to go ahead and discuss an item that many of you are probably familiar with, and that is the Thirst Zapper. As some of you know, especially if you watched a lot of the promotional trailers for the Nuka World DLC, the Thirst Zapper can use a new ammo type called Weaponized Nuka-Cola. I'm happy to report that when fully upgraded, the Thirst Zapper can become quite powerful and now has the best ammo efficiency of any weapon in Fallout 4 for its survival mode difficulty. Now, before we get into this video will contain spoilers. You have been warned. Now, I do want to talk about the Thirst Zapper's location a little bit. While you can get one towards the beginning of the Nuka World DLC, in case you sell that one or something, you can go and pick up 2 Thirst Zappers in the Nuka-Cade. You may also be able to acquire these in other places as well, even though they are somewhat and relatively uncommon. The upgrades for the Thirst Zapper are what I'm going to be discussing in this video, and those can be obtained provided you finish the DLC, you restore power to Nuka World, and then head to the World of Refreshment and investigate Project Cobalt. Once you've visited Project Cobalt and you've acquired the upgrade, you'll need levels in specific perks. In terms of perk requirements, you will need the Gun Nut perk at level 3 and the Science perk at level 4. And you will also need some resources for each upgrade as well. You will need 3 to 5 adhesive, 8 to 12 fiberglass, and 5 to 8 nuclear material, depending on whether you want the Nuka-Cola, Nuka Cherry, or Nuka Quantum versions. As far as stats for the Thirst Zapper go, I'm mostly going to be talking about the weaponized Nuka-Cola versions of the Thirst Zapper. These are the only ones that deal damage, as the stock one has infinite ammo and doesn't deal damage to enemies at all. For all 3 weaponized variants, the fire rate, accuracy, weight, and value are all identical. All of them have a fire rate of 1, accuracy of 76, and a value of 10 bottle caps, and all 3 weigh 2 pounds each. Now, the Nuka-Cola version has a lower range than both the Nuka Cherry and Quantum versions, and it's also worth mentioning that the Nuka-Cola version, when you reload it, it also deals radiation damage to your character. But I digress. The Nuka-Cola version has 83 range, while the other 2 both have a range of 119. The other notable difference is the damage output of each version. So just like the paddle ball, the damage increases as you go from the Nuka-Cola version to the Nuka Cherry version and to the Nuka Quantum version. And the damage for each is as follows. So for the Nuka-Cola version, you're getting 50 damage. For the Nuka Cherry version, you're getting 150 damage. And for the Nuka Quantum version, you're getting 350 damage. It's also worth mentioning that you can boost the damage of the weaponized Thirst Zapper by investing points into the Demolition Expert perk. Unfortunately, none of the other specific weapon perks like Gunslinger or Heavy Gunner, or even the Bloody Mess perk, seem to affect the damage of the weaponized Thirst Zapper in any way. That said, damage boosts from things like bobbleheads and magazines will improve your damage. However, that's only if they boost explosive damage, which the explosive bobblehead does. Now, Bethesda has also added a new ammo type for each of the weaponized Nuka-Cola variants. The stats for each are as follows. So, for the Nuka-Cola version, the weight is 0.014 pounds, which should give you 71 bullets per pound. And the value for that is 1 bottle cap. The Nuka Cherry version weighs 0.019 pounds, and this should give you roughly 53 bullets per pound, and the Nuka Cherry version is also worth 1 bottle cap. Now, the Nuka Quantum version, which is the best version, weighs 0.025 pounds, and this should give you exactly 40 bullets per pound, and the value is, once again, 1 bottle cap. Now, the only way to obtain each ammo type is to craft them, and the crafting requirements are all fairly similar. All of them require some amount of nuclear material, some amount of crystal, and the specific Nuka-Cola that you're using as your base. Now, for the Nuka-Cola version, you're going to need 2 acid, 4 copper, 3 crystal, 2 nuclear material, and 1 Nuka-Cola. For the Nuka Cherry version, you're going to need 2 acid, 3 crystal, 3 nuclear material, 4 silver, and 1 Nuka Cherry. And for the Nuka Quantum version, you're going to need 2 acid, 3 crystal, 4 gold, 4 nuclear material, and 1 Nuka Quantum. So like I said earlier, you're going to need acid, crystal, and nuclear material. You'll also need either copper, silver, or gold as they ascend in power, and you're also going to need like the base version of the weaponized Nuka-Cola you're going to try to make. Now, I also wanted to take some time to give you guys my opinions and thoughts about the Thirst Zapper. Of the 3, the only one that you should really be crafting is the Quantum version, along with the Quantum ammo. The Quantum version is the strongest by far and is more powerful than most grenades, only being surpassed by the vanilla version of the Nuka grenade, not the Nuka grenade that got added with Nuka World. When it comes to the other 2, the Nuka Cherry is like a standard frag grenade in terms of power, and the Nuka Cola one is mediocre when compared to the others in my opinion, and isn't really recommended. You have to be careful while using this up against enemies with melee attacks. Sometimes you can get caught in the blast and lose a lot of health. This is because the Quantum version is sort of like a poor man's missile launcher, but with better damage and ammo weight. At the same time, you do get inferior range and no homing missiles, which is sort of a downside. But at the same time, you can carry a serious amount of firepower here at an extremely low weight. Now, the Thirst Zapper itself, if you remember, weighs only 2 pounds, and a pound of quantum ammo contains 40 shots. So if you fired a pound of this ammo, your damage expenditure per pound would be 14,000 damage per pound. And this makes the Thirst Zapper more ammo efficient than even the Gatling laser. The Nuka Cherry is also pretty good at 7,950, and even the Nuka Cola version is pretty good at 3,550. It's just that I wouldn't recommend making the Nuka Cola version because the Nuka Quantum version needs 2 of the acid, 2 of the nuclear material, and 3 of the crystal that you normally would have used for that Nuka Cola version. I'd say this is really going to be a must-have weapon, especially if you make use of the Demolition Expert perk. The stats on this weapon are awesome, and the ammo is very light, while also being capable of dealing ridiculous amounts of damage. Overall, I think it's definitely a fitting reward for completing the Nuka World DLC. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this particular video. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like. Like I said, I think this is going to be the last of the Nuka World DLC weapon videos, so I think we'll go back to more theory videos, maybe some countdowns for Fallout 4, and otherwise we'll see from there. But anyway guys, again, thank you for supporting these videos, but take care and I'll see y'all next time.